Welcome to Being Friends with Jess and Toni-ann, an inside look at our friendship, millennial things, sports, and pop culture. Come laugh with us, or maybe at us, and let's be friends.
Okay,
All
jeez.
right, everybody, welcome back. I wish we had a camera on us for what we just ensued for the last 40 minutes of trying to get this recording going.
And like, as everyone can see again, I'm back in my brother's childhood bedroom. This was not the original plan. I was in about 2 or 3 different places trying to figure out the best place in my parents' house to do this. Then this
And this is
camera
the winner.
sucked. Then I tried to use my phone. The phone wouldn't let us record. It was a whole thing. So we're here. We made it. The video quality may not be the best, but our sound's good. We're level. You guys
We're
get a bunch of
here.
things to look at, and we're
All
here.
that matters. We're here. We made it.
Whew. So yeah, we're back. Episode
Anyway.
26.
You know what the ironic part of all of this is? Is like, you can't wait to drink now because we just set all this up. Meanwhile, I made myself tea in my china today because my allergies. I sound like this because I went outside for a solid 5 minutes yesterday to do bubbles with my child, and I came back in and sneezed for an hour straight. You thought I snorted dandelions. That's how stuffed I am. And yeah, so I popped 2 Benadryl. They did jack shit. And then today I took the Zyrtec and nasal spray, and I still sound terrible. So
I know.
lukewarm tea now for me.
Now it's lukewarm. I'm glad you were trying a calming experience with your tea, and I just came in like a bat out of hell of not being able to figure out my setup. I don't have a china glass today, so I feel like I'm disappointing the crew, but I'm going with straight up high noon, which I don't really drink on here much. And also this is a cranberry one, which you don't really see that often.
I don't think I even knew they made a cranberry one.
I'm gonna give you this has been in my parents' fridge probably since the summer, to be honest. And it actually is really good.
Okay, that's good.
So
That's good.
thank God for it because I needed it.
Yeah, I told you this already, but for the people that remember my expired liquor store, story of the cans of the Cutwaters, I did mention to the liquor store man about my expired cans when I went to buy Toni-ann's birthday gifts last week, which everyone, I got her a big bottle of tahini, don't you worry.
Yes, she did. And we're really, I'm going to take a picture of my lineup now of all the different kinds of tahini I have. And one day they'll sponsor us. One day.
What day? Like, how they're not sending you a PR package, I don't understand.
I know. And I see they retweet people or repost people all the time. And I'm like, I feel like when I made that margarita with the pop in it,
beautiful.
I
don't know how we didn't get a
Tahini
shout out.
and Outshine, like the brand of the ice pop, and neither of them reposted me.
They don't care. They just hate us.
Maybe is it from, if I do it from the podcast page, maybe they like have a rule against like sponsored stuff from podcasts. Like maybe if I put it from my personal account, that's one thing. But they saw we were a podcast and they didn't want to like be seen as promoting us.
Maybe. I guess I never thought about that, but also
we're new to this game, guys.
But random people are tagged. Like, you don't have to pay us.
No.
We literally said you don't have to pay us.
And I don't even need you to send me free tahini. I have more than enough.
I just want you to notice me.
I just want you to know how much I love you. So, yeah, I'll try reposting it from my own personal page. And then maybe after they repost me, then I'll be like, hey, by the way, I
would like slide into their DMs and be like, why won't you notice me?
Why won't you notice me? Like, I love you so much. I'll literally be like, I'm going to get a restraining order from Brand. I'm going to be like, I love you so much. Why won't you notice me?
I mean, you did inform a lot of people about it, honestly.
I am the world's biggest brand ambassador for this thing.
You really are, and they don't even know about it. Like, they don't even know about it. They don't even know about it.
Please love me. Love me.
I have a ridiculous thing that I was doing today.
Go for it.
Without really, like, noticing that I was doing it. So, I live on a corner, so I have someone, like, behind me, and I could see their house out of, like, my sunroom windows, and then we have somebody, like, on the other side of our house. Anyway, today, I had all the sunroom windows open, and Alec and I are always like, what is going on in this house? Because there's people always coming, always going. It's like a Maj Podge crew of people.
Yeah.
Today, I'm doing my work and I'm staring out the window, like, I just see people going and coming and whatever. So I had let the dog out, and when I was getting the dog in, I noticed this man getting out of his car with a stroller, but it was like you could put the car seat in the stroller.
Yeah.
So it's a man, his baby in the car seat in the stroller, and then he had some sort of like handheld contraption, and he like walks up the driveway. I don't see where they go. But now I'm doing my work and I'm typing, and I look up, and the woman that lives behind me comes back with this man's baby. So I'm like, oh, maybe she's babysitting. She goes in the house. He comes out, and now he's on the side of her house, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
Yeah.
why? Why is she walking her baby? What are you doing to her house? Whatever, right? So now that man leaves, and another guy pulls up in front of her driveway, and now he goes in the house. And I'm like, what is this guy doing at this house?
Yeah.
He leaves. Lunchtime rolls around. This woman has an iron like bench in front of her house. It never has any cushions on it, but she has an iron bench. She is leaning against her car, eating a salad. You have a bench. Why are you leaning against your car? And she's always wearing huge headphones like this. And so she's leaning against her car, eating a salad. And then a lady comes. Like, how much company are you having for a Tuesday afternoon?
No, I know.
Doing.
And why salad? My question.
Why are you leaning against the car when you have? And I'm like, literally looking at. I'm like, she has a bench. Why are you doing? Like, what is? So I have no idea what was going on at this house, and this is a regular occurrence. But like, just watching your neighbors that you have really no idea what they do for a living, like what they do on the regular, is just such an interesting pastime.
Yep.
And I think it was ridiculous that I was so mad about her eating this salad, not on the bench.
Yeah, that would piss me off too. Like,
I think I almost went outside and was like, "Why are you eating your salad there? Why are you doing it?"
Explain yourself.
Anyway, that's my ridiculous thing.
Lovely. I would also like to know why she was eating a salad up against a car. I agree.
This woman also, mind you, this is one thing that really grinds my gears about her. The entire first year that we lived in this home, she had an American flag that I think has since vanished. She had this American flag. She has a flag holder, like hanging from a post. This flag was constantly rolled like up and leaning against the house. It would be on the floor, everything. And I'm like, my thing is like, if you're gonna hang a flag, follow the rules.
Yeah.
Because if you have a flag outside of your house and you're disrespecting it, you might as well not have one. Like,
exactly.
I'd rather not have one because I don't have that capability to take care of it properly.
Right.
And hang it when it should and when it should not. But it drove me nuts. And I think the other day I realized that it was finally gone. But it used to make me so mad.
Maybe that's a thing that her husband was supposed to take care of, and over and over and over again she's asked him to, and he's never done it. And
I don't know if she's married, honestly.
Oh.
I know nothing about this woman. Nothing. So that's that.
Yeah. That was pretty crazy.
Wild. Do you have a ridiculous thing?
Yeah, I think I didn't mention this on the podcast yet. I was gonna talk about my ShopRite, my ShopRite of the Future experience. We didn't talk about this, right?
Oh no.
Okay.
Because that was after we recorded. This is great.
So I went to ShopRite last week, and they asked me if I wanted to be like part of the pilot program for the smart carts, not to be confused with the airport smarte cartes. I'm talking about
I'm sorry, what is a smarte carte?
Okay. You know, the airport, they're smart carts, but they're called smart carts. Like, they're like the things you like take out of like a dock to like put your luggage carriers.
Oh, when you like wheel it?
But
I didn't know they had a name.
Yeah, well, they're called, you'll see on the side of them, like smart cart, but both the smart and the cart have an E after them. So I've always called them smarte cartes.
Okay.
As a joke. I knew that's not probably how they're pronounced, even though why are you putting the E's?
I need to wipe my nose.
Go for it. That's good.
Sorry.
So anyway, so in ShopRite, they have these new carts they're not called Smarte Cartes, they're called paper carts. And it's like the cart is weighted, like it's like self-checkout in a cart, essentially. Like they're weighted. So if you put things in it, it knows. And if it's like produce, it weighs it. And it has 4 sensors in the cart, which are essentially like cameras that scan. And you just
the produce is wild to me.
Yeah.
That's the most mind-boggling part.
Yeah. So you like
why
code
would
it
they put
in.
a little scale and you just like put it on
Right,
there?
and it knows to like zero, like if you like put in a produce code, it knows to like zero out what you already have in the cart and then do new like when you drop it in. Like you're
That's
like tearing it
wild.
out. Yeah. So the woman said, "Do you want to try this? It's, $10 off your first 2 orders. So it's like $20 off total, obviously." And I'm like, me, I'm like, a deal. They're like, you have to just spend, it's $10 off 35. I'm like, these days a supermarket, unfortunately, like $35, like 3 things. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get $10 off. Sure. So I take this cart. They like walk you through it because it's like a beta program. And they're like, here's like the top has like an iPad kind of like screen. And they like showed you like you could connect your ShopRite card to it. So all your clipped coupons are still in it and you still get the discounts. And you just take an item and you just like make sure that it's like the UPC code is passing one of the 4 corners as you put it into the cart. So it scans it and then it shows you the price. It shows you if it's on sale. You can like whatever. Same with, the produce again, like you could either do a self-checkout, either scan the little tiny label or type in the code and then it weighs it and whatever. And then at the end of your shopping trip, you just click like checkout on it and it gives you like a QR code and you just go to a designated checkout counter that's only for these carts and they just scan your code and you pay. So I did this and it was pretty cool. I felt very futuristic doing it, but a part of me is also in the back of my mind, not that I did it because I'm a good citizen, but a part of me is like, this is the same as self-checkout where like they're very trustworthy of you. Like you can easily like say you got only 1 thing of something and put like 3 in and it probably wouldn't notice. Like, I mean, unless it was like something weighted, like a substantial amount of weight, then it probably would know. And it would like,
but like taco seasoning, you could take the whole box and they probably wouldn't know.
Right. Like those little tiny packets, like they don't know how many. I mean, of course, that's the small stuff. That's like what, 70 cents? But like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but you're right. Like, one thing leads to another. Now. And when you go to the register, like, I don't know if it was just this guy that was slacking. Like maybe they're going to have to be a little better at looking at it. Like he didn't even check my cart. Like he literally just scanned it, had me pay, and I left. So I'm like, they're really trustworthy with these new technologies. I mean, like I said, essentially every corner of that cart is a security camera, but who's going through and looking at every cart's video feed?
Right. Like, also, let's talk about how, like, at Costco, they, like, inspect your cart.
Right.
Meanwhile, there's, like, a barricade of register. Like, nobody is getting at a Costco without paying. So let me know why we got the Gestapo at the door. Like,
I don't know. But because there's nothing after
with
the
a little
registers.
highlighter. Yeah, there's.
I know. I don't know why it kind of gives me joy when they do that though. It's like a successful shopping trip.
It is kind of nice. But like, I'm just saying, like, you need that at like the regular.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Walmart does that too, but.
Oh, well, that leads into my second part of a ridiculous thing of shopping these days. Everything is locked up now. You go to Target and the body wash and the soap and the toothpaste is locked and you have to ask someone to give you help.
Wait, mine's not, but my parents just went to the new ShopRite that they built on Route 9 in Old Bridge. Mm-hmm. You'll see it when you go to the wedding on Friday.
Yeah.
So they just went to it and my mom said every single thing is literally locked up. Like you can't even. I'm like, that doesn't even make it enjoyable.
And the signs are like, oh, it's to make sure that whatever you want is like in stock. And I'm like, is shoplifting that bad?
No, my mom said that the person said that it is that bad. That
and like the Dove bottles that are like this big, you're stealing. How are you getting away with that?
Right.
I don't know. So
we've already cut down the self-checkout at Target to 10 items or less, which I hate because the lines at Target are ridiculous. Like I'm faster at doing self-checkout for 50 items than waiting in a line. I'm sorry.
Well, that's another thing. Now that they've relaunched Target Circle, I'm curious if they're going to go in the same direction as like that ShopRite was, where like you have the Target app, you scan every single thing you're buying, and then at the end of the trip, you're just verifying with somebody, this is what I bought, and paying through your app.
That wouldn't be a bad.
I mean, a lot of people, obviously, cashiers are a thing of the past. We're learning, like they're trying not to hire cashiers. Like I get that, but like
they also feel like a lot of people aren't applying to be cashiers either. Are they?
No, most people that work at shop right now aren't even like register associates anymore. They do like the shop from home, like they go shopping for you, and then you can pick it up.
I've seen that in
like that's what most associates do now. Yeah. So I don't know, but that was just a crazy experience. It wasn't too ridiculous on the scale of my usual ridiculous things, but it was just a unique experience I felt like needed to be shared.
I think the ridiculous part is that you participated just for the $10.
That's not that ridiculous if anybody knows me.
No, it's not. But like,
you know what?
To other people, it might be.
Okay.
Other people, it might be.
I guess. I didn't really save because right after that trip, I just went to Trader Joe's and spent an unnecessary amount of money on things that I didn't need to spend money on. So, didn't really save me in the long run, but that's okay.
Speaking of Costco, I want to talk about the reel that I sent you.
Oh my God. Respect to that man.
I was scrolling on Reels yesterday, and there's this man at Costco, and it was like, the caption was like, 5 rotisserie chickens is enough, bro. So I was like, this man, like, what is this going to be about? So I click it, and the guy is like, you already know who I am. I don't want a problem. And the cashier is like, sir, I need your Costco card. He goes, that's your credit card. I need your Costco card. He's like, here's my Costco card, but I don't want to pay on this card. And I got 5 chickens, and here's the QR code. I don't want any LED on my chickens. He literally had the scan barcode for the rotisserie Costco chicken on his chest and made the cashier scan it 5 times.
Does he not understand that those lights, that's the least of the problem in those chickens? And I love Costco chicken, but it is in no way organic. You are not getting first of all, it sits under the heat lamp in Costco before you even put it in your cart.
Right, in a plastic container. Container. Like, sir, it was so fun. But I was cracking up. I was like,
you sent it to me and I was just enjoying the ridiculousness of the man. But then when they actually did scan his shirt and it beeped 5 times, I actually started crying. I was like, I thought that they were going to tell him after all that, it wasn't working. And nope, they took the gun and they were like, dee, 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 and his shirt it went right off. It was so
And he was
funny.
Moving into the barcode, it wasn't working.
He was like this. Every time it was a beep, beep. That's a man dedicated to his Costco chicken.
But what are you doing with 5 Costco chickens?
Hey, for $5, $6, $5 pop, still they are. Great deal. You got to get chicken every time you go into Costco. It's just like a law.
I don't even have a Costco card, so.
Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic.
All right, let's
funny.
talk about Toni-ann's birthday party this weekend. It wasn't really a birthday party. I just said a birthday party. It was a dinner.
No. It was a very impromptu night out.
All of us invited ourselves to.
I plan on doing nothing this year. So.
And we made you go out. Anyway.
It was fun.
So first we went to dinner.
Yes.
And they forgot Toni-ann's pizza. Or they put in the wrong pizza. So now Toni-ann's incorrect pizza comes out.
Yeah.
And she was splitting things with our other friends. The best part of this whole thing is that they say this is the wrong pizza. It took an hour for them to get.
I wanted them to just get rid of it at that point. I was so upset.
But none of us realized that they didn't bring out your meatballs until that pizza came out and the meatballs.
I didn't know we ordered meatballs. They just came out and I'm like, oh, somebody ordered this? They're like, yeah.
Well, and then the bill came out and they didn't even comp the pizza, which pissed me off more. What? How does a pizza take that long? And how do you blame it on a party?
Yeah.
For 6 people. Those other people, I swear, the table 2 tables down from us was not supposed to get that pizza. They were still eating their appetizers. They might have ordered the same one, but that one should have came to us and they should have had to wait. Sorry, not sorry. That's it.
Jess, the hospitality major, has spoken.
Yeah.
That's how restaurants are supposed to work.
Anyway, after that, we went to we went out to a different bar, and we're getting our drinks, whatever. We're dancing, we're having a good time. Soulja Boy came on in this bar, and I've never felt more ancient in my entire fucking life.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
We were well, there was like half the bar was singing, and the other half of the bar was just standing there like crickets. I'm like,
we looked around and we go, why is nobody else singing this song?
singing. Why weren't they doing the choreography? Any of it. They weren't singing. They didn't know what was going on. I was infuriated. I've never whipped out my phone so fast to make a note in this podcast chat ever in my life.
I think she did it on the spot. We were standing in the bar, and all of a sudden I get like a notification, like Jess updated the podcast note, and it was like, feeling old, Soulja Boy, or like something like that.
Ancient.
I was like, I guess we're gonna be talking about this.
It says ancient at the bar, Soulja Boy, and I was drunk, and there was autocorrect, so spelling Soulja Boy was really hard.
Yeah, and you spelled ancient. It was like ANCH. I had to correct it. I corrected it. So it was the next day I looked at it, and I was like, that's not how you spell ancient at all. But other than that, that's why we like that bar, because they do play a lot of good throwbacks. But
it was great.
We looked around, we were like, well, this is perfect for a 32nd birthday, because it's making me feel very old.
Very old. Well, we weren't even the oldest people in the bar. There was multiple groups of old men. There was 3 that were like very creepy that we had to get away from. Like they literally, I've never been so disgusted at how a man looked at like girls in a bar as I was on Friday night. Like I literally felt violated watching this man look at other people.
And he was just looking at people, but just felt violated.
No, he wasn't. He was literally like staring into like it. He was not just looking at me.
No. He was hoping someone would make eye contact with him to like start a conversation. He was like doing that.
No. Yeah.
He was doing the thing that's very obvious to everyone when they think they're being subtle and they're not.
No, yeah, it was creepy. I did not like it. And then there was the other group of old men that were like having the time of their life, but I was like, why are you here? Why are you throwing up peace signs? What are you doing? That's what they were. They were literally rapping like this.
Oh. The Observer. Yeah.
I was like, but what are these two
otherwise
doing?
it was a fun night, and then I proceeded to do almost nothing the whole weekend, which was great for me.
That sounds fantastic.
Well, yeah, I did an impromptu Sunday. I got invited to Kim and Ramez's. We went out to a brewery and then just had dinner at their house, which was nice. But I partied it up with a 5-year-old to end my birthday weekend. So that was nice.
She made you feel young again.
She did. So that was good. All is well that ends well. Just another year and you'll be next.
Well, yeah. The most important thing is you got new Taylor, which we'll dive into for our next episode. But that was the highlight to your birthday for sure.
Of course. And
of course.
Going into the night we went out I had to take a nap before because I made the mistake of staying up till 2 a.m. to see what her big reveal was going to be. Everyone found out that it was a double album. So it turned into 16 songs to 31 songs. And I'm the idiot that didn't go to sleep before that announcement was made. So then I decided I needed to stay up to listen to them. And I woke up the same morning, I guess you could say, absolutely exhausted, eye bags down to here, had to work, knowing we were going out later is a lot.
I don't know what, we were obviously texting each other, which we'll go into more detail in the next podcast.
In the Taylor podcast,
we were texting each other, and I decided after I did my initial listen through that I was just going to play it until I fell asleep. And then I was tossing and turning, whatever. I looked at the clock and it was 1:30, and I was like, no, don't do it. Don't stay up. You'll regret it in the morning.
You made the decision I should have made.
You have to work. And I fell back asleep, and I woke up to 3 texts from Toni-ann the next morning. Because as soon as, literally, I don't even think my eyelids were open. My hand was reaching for my phone. Okay, now it's past 2 a.m. What is it? And I looked at my phone, and I see double album, and I just literally went right to Apple Music, and Alec came back in the room from his shower, and I already was on the second song.
Oh my god!
I'm like, it's a double album. It's a double album.
I just knew I knew you were asleep, obviously, because we were texting, and it was It was like 12:30 when we were texting, and you were like, I'm not staying up till 2 a.m. And I said, I'm not going to either. And then I knew you would be the responsible one, go to sleep. And then like we stopped texting. And then I was like finally coming down from my first listen of the first 17 songs at like 1:15. And I should have made the decision you made to no, go to sleep. It's not that important. And I didn't even know it was going to be a double album. I didn't see all the theories about that. I thought it was just going to be like the extra bonus tracks, like 3 or 4 bonus tracks were going to be released.
Or like,
or
hey,
a
we're gonna
music
give you
video.
all 5. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna give you all 5 bonus tracks that are on all the different albums.
Yeah.
On Apple
So
Music.
I don't know why I just stayed up because my brain did the rounding up that sometimes people do for like time, like, oh, it's 1:15, which basically means it's basically 1:30, which basically means it's 2 o'clock. Like I just did that math in my brain and stayed awake. And when it happened, I texted you, like, not to get morbid, but like they hit the Pentagon. I was like, double album. And I was like, she's gonna see all this in the morning and be like, I can't believe you stayed up for this. And that's exactly what happened.
All right. Well, more of that on the next episode, but we just had to touch upon that because it consumed our entire weekend.
It's a current event, and it's
still
an event,
consuming our lives.
And it's a very important event of ours. But yes, we'll be giving all of our play-by-play and what we're obsessed with, all the full breakdown on our special Taylor episode, which we hope you will all listen into.
Right. Even if you don't like her, just come listen to our opinions.
Yeah.
And really judge
you might learn something new.
Right. So. Anyway. All right, before Miserable Mets, let's talk about the Jets.
Bye-bye, Zach.
Like, are we
official? I mean, it's just the circle of life. Jets get a nice new quarterback. He's a stud until he plays games, and then he's not. And then we hold on to him too long because we think he's going to come around. He doesn't, and then we get rid of him. Such is the circle of life. Oh no, Jets froze. Oh, you're back.
You froze.
You froze.
And then you were like, we lost Jess. We lost her. And I'm yelling. And I'm like, no, you froze.
I saw you move the wire and then you cut out.
I went to plug it in because it was going to die.
Well, it messed up something.
Anyway, yeah. And now he'll go to the Broncos and it'll be good. I don't know if you said that already, but if you didn't. I didn't. No. Yeah, that's what happens. Friggin' Geno Smith in Seattle.
Yeah. And so everything's still banking on Aaron Rodgers. Like, we have no other real backup, right?
Everything's still ranking on Aaron Rodgers. Meanwhile, there was rumors that he was going to be vice president or in the running for vice president 3 months ago. And all I'm worried about is who's going to be our fucking QB if he does that.
I'm like, can we focus on you recovering from a torn Achilles? Like, we don't need you running for vice president. Thank you very much.
Right. No. Like, are we just going to say, oh, I'll start the season, and then week 6, I got to go run for president, and if we lose, I'll be back. If we don't, bye.
Oh, that reminds me of another topic we didn't talk about. It's kind of on this subject about how, like...
Hold on, I just had a thought. The Jets are so bad, though, that even if Aaron Rodgers did run for VP, and he won, their season would be over by the time he comes.
Oh, yeah. So absolutely. Good. Inauguration day, the season will be way over. That's not anything he has to worry about. It's more being on the campaign trail that's going to take time away.
No, not that worried.
He can multitask. It's possible. But speaking of people that are just giving up their previous commitments for things that come along better, the Jonas Brothers did a major faux pas. You read about that?
No, I didn't read about it, but I did see that they delayed their European tour, or they canceled it, or something.
So they totally moved around the dates of their European tour, and they said it's because they have exciting projects down the pike, and they're so excited to share with everyone. But and I think it's rumored that those exciting projects are that both Joe and Nick are going to be on Broadway. So, you froze again. Oh, you're back. Okay. Back? Sorry. Yeah, so both Joe and Nick are apparently maybe going to be on Broadway. So that's why they moved the things around. But I'm sorry, your exciting new project was the tour. Like, you had all these people commit to flying, staying in hotels, doing all these things for you. Right. And now you just decided Broadway's more important than that, and they're all screwed.
Right. I also feel like with the way the concerts are right now, even though you think you're going on an international tour, like you said, people are like, it's one thing to fly from place to place in Europe. Like they hop
Right.
on planes and go to other countries, like
Right.
hop, skip, jump, like not a big deal. Like we do states, but
Right.
for people in America, like half of the people that I know that couldn't get Taylor Swift tickets here are going
Yeah.
overseas because that's how they were able to get them. So I think for like the ticket place that we're in right now, to just up and be like, yeah, we're moving this around, like you said, it really does take a toll on people because hotels, flights, whatever, like you can't, it's not easy to get those refunded or rearranged. And if you're making a Euro like trip out of it, that's really
Right.
hard to,
because the cost of the
do.
ticket is the least of your problems, especially that, you know, they
Right.
said like, oh, well, you know, obviously your ticket's good for the new date. And or like you could go through Ticketmaster for like a refund process. But like
Right.
that's the least of your problems. Like the hotel, the flight, everything like that is so much more expensive. And the new date's just not gonna work for you. Like that's not how things work.
That happened to half of my family with Morgan Wallen. They all were going to Morgan Wallen last year when he was supposed to be at MetLife.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, then shit went awry. So it gets rescheduled. And now 4 of my family members, including the bride,
Right.
they got the date of the wedding, my cousin's wedding. So they all had to sell all of their all my cousins except for one had to sell their tickets because of the conflict. But my
Right.
one cousin, hers was for the Friday night. So
Oh.
she's the only one that like could still go, but she's like, now I gotta go to a concert and then the next night go to a wedding till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is not ideal.
Yeah, so that came to my mind when we were talking about having to like reschedule things and people replacing like priorities.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, you are doing a world tour. Like, your priority is to put on a show for these people. Like, they're planning their whole lives, their whole summer around seeing you.
Right.
You can put off the Broadway debut to the fall. Like,
Right. I mean, like, obviously, if something like major was going on in one of their lives or something like that, or like someone got pregnant and like their wife was having a baby or whatever, but like, even so, like at that point, you would think they would have figured that out a little sooner.
It was the way they went
was
about
the
it too.
issue.
Like, they just
Right.
didn't seem apologetic. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't say like, we know how hard it was for you to like make this happen and we'll make it up to you. Like, all they said was like, we're rescheduling things, but we have some new exciting things happening. Like, they were not really sorry, like, at all. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's a
think
little-
got people pissed off.
Yeah, that's a little weird. It's definitely a little weird.
But and they really still haven't like said anything about it since. Like, they are sticking with what they said and like just saying like, if you're coming, great. If not, whoops.
Good for them to stick into their story and not changing the
Yeah. Well, again,
Just
like if it was to
for the
cover up like a
people.
family issue or like something like that, like of course, like people will understand that you're sick, you have family things going on. Like obviously,
Right,
Joe's
but if
going
you're
through his
just taking a
divorce,
new, like a different job, that's bullshit.
right. You're taking
Right.
an opportunity that if you're still this popular this time next year, like you'll still get that opportunity. Like,
Right. And even
so
if it was like Joe having to deal with divorce stuff,
right.
everybody's obviously very invested or knows what's going on with the divorce. Like, no one's going to judge you if you're like, hey, Joe needs a break.
Right.
They get it.
Right. So that was off topic, but it was kind of on topic. Yeah. And then, yeah, before we jump into Mets, the only other thing is, not that I'm a huge fan, but right now, New York City is hopping. The Rangers, the Knicks, everyone's doing well. Everyone's in the playoffs. How the Rangers doing as we speak?
I can't see. Hold on. It's 4-2.
They're winning or losing?
Yeah, they're winning.
Oh,
which
good.
is awesome. The Knicks had a big win last night.
2 nights. Last 2 games.
Yeah, I'm not really into like basketball. I'm a Knicks fan by like association.
Right.
Of my dad and brother and my husband, but like I in no way, shape, or form enjoy watching basketball. I will say for all you Brads and Chads out there, they showed Michael Strahan and Juan Soto and all these people at the game on Saturday or whatever the game 1 was, so Friday. And I didn't see anybody up in arms on the internet about it. So weird how that happens. So
imagine
weird.
like it's not. I really think they took away from the game and the sport. I really don't like it. I wish they didn't show them. Like
I was sitting on the couch and I was like, how dare they tell me Michael strike hands at the game?
Right.
And Alec is like, are you trying to like impersonate somebody? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, it was a problem when Taylor was at the game. She was so distracting. How dare she be there?
It's ridiculous.
Exactly. You all survived. You'll survive some more. Bye.
Yep. So go Knicks.
Still fun.
Good for you guys. Go Rangers. I know you're obviously a lot more invested in them than the Knicks, but I just, as a fan, not a hockey and not a basketball fan, I just enjoy when New York teams do well that aren't the Yankees. Let's just say. Let's not get crazy. But
speaking of Yankees, the most Mets thing ever happened to the Yankees yesterday.
Oh, what?
Aaron Boone got thrown out of the game because a fan yelled something at the ump.
And he thought it was him?
His mouth did not even move. Wait,
really? I have to look that up.
No, you need to look it up. It was the funniest thing I've ever witnessed. Aaron Boone is standing on the steps. He's standing on the steps of the dugout, him and like the assistant coach. And you hear something. I don't know what the fan said. It was like something like "go home, ump" or something like that.
Not even anything that nasty?
No, it might have been nastier. I really couldn't hear it. Anyway, he turns around. He's like, "You're out of here, Aaron." And he's like, "I didn't do it." He's like, "I didn't say anything." The assistant coach is like pointing to the fan. He was like, "Him." The people in the crowd are like, "It was this guy."
Oh my God.
So there's all this chaos. He's like, "I don't care who said it." Like, he's like, "I didn't do anything." It was the most Mets thing that has ever happened.
That is so Mets. Oh my God.
And if you watch the video, like they zoom in on the fan yelling. It was so funny.
Did the guy look like a typical Yankees fan too?
Yeah, like and like you think you would stand up and be like, "Yo, Blue, it was me. I'll take one for the team. I'll get thrown out." No,
I wouldn't. I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be like, "What, me? I didn't say anything." Like knowing there's like a million cameras on me, don't care. So, oh my God, but that is so Mets. That's hilarious.
Funny. It was so funny. I almost forgot about that.
Oh my God.
Anyway, all right. On to the miserable Mets.
Honestly, so far, I mean, they've lost the last 2 games, but April's not been too shabby.
10-0. Sunday was 10-0.
It was 10-0. We don't really usually do well on the West Coast.
But we were due for it.
We won the 2 out of 3 games with the Dodgers. That's pretty good.
No.
So the third game was the 10-0 game, but like we won the first 2.
Things could be a lot worse. Things could be a lot worse. I'm just saying.
And we're old. I can't stay up for these West Coast games.
No, I can't either.
Like I'll just look at the scores the next day. It's just like too much.
Too much.
I'll stay up till 2 a.m. for Taylor Swift album, but I draw the line at a 9:45 baseball game. Clearly. Demented.
And Nito's hurt now. I mean Nito. RP Nito.
Oh,
he's back. He's back because Alvarez is hurt, but
yes, of course.
So just our luck.
Hitter that's doing well.
Injury.
Huh?
Now we have an injury. I said we have an injury now.
Yeah. Our catcher, who's actually a good hitter, of course, is that going to be out? At least it was April and not September. But not that I know if we should be helpful about September, but we'll see. We'll see what
you
happens.
Were really shooting for the stars on that one.
We're only like a couple of games over 500 again, and I'm like, we're doing great, guys. Let's chill out. Next week is going to be 80 degrees, though. I definitely think I might be hitting up a game.
Yeah. You want to know why it's going to be 80 degrees? Because I'm going to Aruba to escape this shit weather. So then you guys are going to have good weather while I'm away.
Yep, that's exactly why.
It's annoying. It's so annoying. Anyway, what do you have to say about the rally pimp that you
so for anybody that's not a Mets fan, or even if you are and you just don't really follow it closely, there's a new, all baseball teams, probably not just the Mets exclusively, all baseball teams have like fans that are characters. They become characters. If you're a Mets fan, like Cowbell Man, the guy that always holds up the Believe sign, like, Pin Man, like you have all these characters. There's a new man in town they've been dubbing him the Rally Pimp. He just wears like a pimp, like fuzzy, like coat, big sunglasses, like
Stern hair.
Howard Stern, like wig hair. And SMY can't get enough of him. Like anytime he's in the crowd, they have to pan to him. He does like a little dance, like nothing crazy, but you know, he's a good screen grab, like for the media. So, I feel like whenever these kind of people come around, like people either don't like them or they like them. Like they think they're either attention whores or they like think they're good for the club. So like, what do you fall on that scale?
I think I like him.
Okay.
I like him more than like the year that we had like the groundhog or the squirrel thing going.
Oh
Whatever
yeah,
that was. Yeah,
Mhm.
that I thought was dumb. But
the raccoon.
I think I like him because he I think he was just a regular fan and was like swaying because they were losing so bad, and like now he's just out there living his life and like whatever.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he could stay.
I think it's funny. And he's not like an actual pimp. Like some people like on the internet that have to hate were like, oh, you're encouraging prostitution or something like that. I'm like, he's not on TV like asking to sell women. Like he's just wearing a fuzzy coat. Like I think some people are taking this a little out of control. And so in that
People
note, I
have to take
disregard you.
everything out of
It's
control.
so annoying. It's so annoying.
It's so annoying.
But yeah, some people, of course, just go to the not to call anybody out, but actually your brother mentioned to me via Snapchat that he finds him annoying and seeks attention.
He doesn't listen to us, so he won't even know. Also, talk about attention seeking. He shows up to the Met game with 150 people, my brother. We're talking about attention seeking.
Yeah, sorry, Lou. So I don't know, but it was just a quick message. Like I snapped him and he wrote back like, oh, he's like annoying. And I'm like, why do you have an opinion about him?
Yeah, like why is he
Then I said, I was
what
like, he's not as annoying as he who should not be named.
Right.
So, you know, there's worse fans in the Mets world.
Yeah.
So Raleigh Pimp, you keep doing your thing. I hope it brings the good juju and we keep this right.
Yeah, me too. And if not, I just like his style. Like,
So,
you do you. He kind of looks like a 4-year-old that picked out what they were wearing that day.
Kind
with no help from their mom.
Yeah, like he went to Party City and he's like, this stuff looks cool. Like, I'm just going to wear this to a game just to see what happens. And it's
together.
a go. Meanwhile, we could plan our outfits out to look as adorable as possible and we're never on TV.
Meanwhile, Toni-ann put her nacho bowl on top of her head one time and still didn't. Well, that day we actually were on the Jumbotron.
I actually was on the Jumbotron that day. I was
right.
gonna say.
Not a good
example.
But
it was my birthday. It was my birthday, so.
Yeah.
And that game was rigged.
I don't remember.
It was the cup stacking game. You don't remember this?
Oh,
they gave you like a bunch of cups.
I thought you meant the actual game of baseball.
Oh no, the game they had on the Jumbotron was rigged.
I was gonna say they won that game we were there.
They just gave it to me because they felt bad because what happened was like the video wasn't like syncing up with like the
I'm
timer.
Still talking about the Mets and not you playing the cup game. The Mets won that day.
They did. Oh, good, because they usually don't when we're there, so that's nice.
I think they won that day. I feel like we partied hardy at McFadden's after. R.I.P. Anyway.
R.I.P. Yeah. Well, it was a birthday. We did party hardy at McFadden's, especially on the birthdays.
We did. But
R.I.P.
Any hoosers.
I think this is okay if this one goes a little short because we had a lot of journey to get here to record it.
Yeah, I'm like tapped out.
And we have to film our Tay episode tomorrow. So to air when Jess is away next week. So yes, Jess and her hubby are going to Aruba.
We are.
So you guys enjoy that.
Thank you.
And I will be here, but obviously we'll have a pre-recorded episode.
Yes, it will be pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why it's not about current events. Well, it's about a current event, but not our usual topic train.
So if any of you are Big Taylor haters and you won't be listening to the pre-recorded episode, then you do not have a new episode next week.
Yeah, but we still think you should listen.
I still think you should listen to it. And like I said, maybe you'll get some insight. There's a lot of Taylor podcasts out there that I feel like we would do a much better job of analyzing songs and giving our opinion. Not naming any because every podcast about her is great, but like I just think that we could be just as good, if not better, at the way we talk about her.
Right. Well, I also think that we're like in a different stance too, where we don't sit there and say, "Who's this about? Who's this about?" I'm like, listen to the words.
Yeah. I'm like,
So,
just enjoy the song.
It's different. Right. Exactly. We're unusual geriatric Swifties.
Yeah, exactly. We just are happy that she's still making music, and we'll take what we can get.
Exactly. But
all right.
On that.
Oh, your sign off got cut up. Try again.
Bye, friends. Thanks for being our friend.
Thanks for being our friends, and we appreciate your grace in any of these technical difficulties, visual or audio, we are getting.
We're doing well today.
Bye, everyone.
Hi, friends. Wow, you listened to the whole thing. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform and share it with your friends. Ratings, reviews, and comments help as well. See you next week. Thanks for being our friend.